Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Wish You Would podcast. My name is Max.
Mine is DJ.
And I'm Preston.
And today we're talking about everyone's favorite public restrooms. Because
it's everybody's favorite.
It's everyone's favorite. And
Nobody's
it needs
favorite.
to be said. Clearly, no one believes me. When everyone that I know has ever told me, they're like, oh my God, public restrooms, they're the best. That's a lie. Everyone usually fucking hates public restrooms. Now, I am kind of curious how you guys feel about them. Now, we will get into specifics of public restrooms because I feel like that's also a very important thing to say.
It is.
Like the difference of like going to a mall and having the mall bathrooms, or going to your work and having the work bathrooms, going to a gas station and using that thing. And then
going
there's porta
to a work
johns.
site.
Oh yeah, no, I have definitely spent many days in terms of my lifetime total hours in porta johns and the squatty potties, if you will. And I've seen a lot. I haven't been
scarred.
No, I think I'm seasoned.
That's
We'll
just how you
seasoned.
said. I've seen it. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of things. Seen a lot of shit. Seen a lot of blood in the bathroom.
I've seen a lot
of shit.
Literally.
I have seen some shit, man. I kid you not, I have seen some shit.
Yeah. Blood fun fact is a thing, and I'll talk about that one later. But right now, specifically, I want to know what are your guys' thoughts on not porta potties, on public restrooms? What are we talking? Like, DJ, tell me how you feel about it.
Oh, I was about to say, I wish you would start, Preston, please.
Oh God. You know.
Okay.
Uncomfortable silence.
I need to call out right now. You're so fucking stiff right now, dude.
Yeah, it's.
You're like your shoulders are so tight.
What do you mean? I'm perfectly
Oh wait,
relaxed.
that was your phobia. Public restrooms.
Wait, really?
No.
Okay, that's a thing, by the way.
It's no.
Call back to the other episode, the only other episode we've ever done.
It's it's a long answer because it depends on the type of public restroom.
Okay, lay it on me.
Because if it's like a rest stop in the middle of nowhere, I don't really care. I don't care if it's packed full of people. It doesn't bother me at all. But like if I'm at class, right, on a college campus, where it's like they're nice, they're clean bathrooms, then for some reason I'm sitting there like, I gotta wait till everybody's out. Nobody can hear me. And I don't know why. It's like,
no.
Oh no, it echoed.
So I am curious, is it because you know the people that are going to be in that room and you're going to probably see them again in a minute? Or because I mean, like in a secluded area in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, you're like, I have to shit so bad, and there's 500 people in one room and there's 4 stalls. I don't care if all of them hear me tear it up or not. I'm going in, I'm doing my business, and I'm out. Because you're never going to see them again. But like the same idea with like going into a college campus and you're going to be seeing those guys in class. Do you have like that weird fear where like you're going to be sitting down, you're just going to like just let out a huge shit and then everyone in the class, everyone in the bathroom for some reason is like, dude, gross. And then they see you later on, they see you emerge from that rest stall and they're like, bro, I can't believe you did that.
you know, I don't think that specifically, but I think
this
that
fucking
does.
scenario that just like comes out of nowhere.
You just get like the random shame. I can't believe you pooped that hard. It's so
Fucking Game of Thrones at him. All the way back to his classroom.
Dude, I've gotten over that so fast, dude. Like, if I have to go shit, I gotta shit. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care who's listening. I don't even care if people are watching me do it. I'm gonna look them dead ass in the eyes, and I'm gonna be like, I'm tearing it up. Good luck.
But what do you think it is, Preston? What do you think? Why do you think that specifically makes you so much more uncomfortable than that random place out in the woods?
I don't know. Part of it might be that there might be people around that I know.
Yeah.
But then there's the other part of it where if I know them too well, it goes back to not caring.
Right.
But
Or goes back to like shenanigans in the
right.
bathroom, which is kind of
You
weird.
sank my battle shit.
You sank my battle shit.
But I'll also have it like even if I am if I'm
You do.
in a random place,
Mm.
but it's a like quiet, nice bathroom. For some reason, then it's always like, well, now I gotta be quiet, and I don't know what it is. Like I get that library syndrome where
This is a library. It must be quiet.
Yeah.
can't make
You get
any
library
noise.
syndrome in a
Now, is
quiet
it-
bathroom.
Yeah.
Is it specifically when like if the bathroom is nice? Does it have any play in it, or is it specifically just like if it's a nicer place?
I think if it's a nicer place, because if it's a nice bathroom in a truck stop, I don't think that weighs as
One,
much.
that's incredible.
That would be that would
that
be
would
Some of them are really nice.
That would be that would
Some truck
be the
stops.
place to stop. 100%. You don't even care if you have to go. You're stopping there.
Stopping.
Just to appreciate that porcelain.
Just to go in. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
really
the bathroom.
breathe in. Yeah, breathe it in. All right.
You know,
What
yeah.
about you, DJ? What you got? You like
So-
public bathrooms? You all about that?
I'm not really a fan,
What's your
but
favorite?
it's kind of like it is depending on where you are. Because like if I'm at a rest stop, for example, I'm just getting in and getting out and going on my merry way.
Mhm.
I don't really care who's around me, but really what bothers me the most is just humans are fucking disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
and I
mean, to be
the
fair-
amount
to be
of
fair,
nastiness
it's
I've seen in
natural.
public restrooms
Everything
is crazy. And it's not just public restrooms like out in the world. I still consider like my work bathroom like a public restroom between
yeah, it's-
everybody at work. And people are nasty. And I would be embarrassed to leave the mess that I've seen in
Are you
some of
telling
these
me
work
that
bathrooms.
you haven't just pooped along the entire rim and missed the water entirely, and then you're just like, I'm gonna leave that there?
Correct. Yes, I've never done that.
Yeah,
I've
no one
cleaned it
should
up.
ever fucking do that. That's disgusting, and you're an asshole.
if you've ever worked
Yes.
retail where
Yes.
there was a public bathroom, you see all of that.
To be fair,
Yeah.
quick tangent. I worked in retail, and like, I didn't have a publicly accessible bathroom. It was only for our employees, and specifically, I was working at the mall at the time, and there's public mall bathroom. It was like right past my store. Dude. It was like right out there, easy. We had a kid. It's a kid. It happens, but like it's still gross. Kid just shit on my floor.
Nice.
And so when you have to make a call to like the mall like janitorial, you're like, so we've got human bio waste that you gotta take care of. The guy on the phone was like, did he vomit? And I'm like, nah, dude. It's like, did he pee? I wish it was that easy, man. It's like, dude, what the fuck? These shit? Yeah.
you fucking like amped up the anticipation until he was just like, oh, I don't want to come.
Do you guys have a solid floor? No, dog, it's carpet. He's like, motherfucker.
It's so true though.
The guy showing up just like pissed off already. He's like, God damn, I hate my life. I hate my job. Well, I mean, like, I felt bad too, because the kid obviously was in a bad way at that time. It's like, I can't stop myself. I'm gonna go. And it fell out my pants. It's still funny to think about because I worked in a retail store in a mall and someone shit on my floor.
Yeah,
To be fair,
it's funny.
that wasn't the first time. in that store that had happened. I was not there for the previous Phantom Duker. However, that was a thing that had happened before.
If you had a nickel for every time somebody shat on that floor, you'd have
I'd
two
have
nickels.
at least I'd have
Nickels.
15 cents. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey man, we were a place to be, and it was definitely cool to see things that we were selling and be like, dang, dude, I can't believe it. Poops pants. 100% happens to the best of us.
But like back to what I was saying, like it's mainly cleanliness for me. Like
Yeah.
I just have a really hard time, and that's why I don't like to go to them if I can avoid it. Like I actually prefer.
Avoid them.
Well, no, I'll go.
Okay.
Like if I gotta go, I'll go. It doesn't really matter where it is. I feel like most people. I know there's some people that don't, but I think most people will do it.
I salute the people,
and
that
I
are
don't
able
know
to
anybody
hold
that like loves public bathrooms.
I do. I think they're great. Now, here's the caveat to that. If there weren't public bathrooms, do you know what that would be like? Because that would be fucking awful.
Oh yeah,
Being in an area that's not next to your house at all, or even in like a different town and not having anything next to it, you're like, dude,
I'd be knocking on random doors.
Doing work specifically in the middle of fucking like random bumfuck nowhere, and then you're like, oh, I need lunch, and I also need to deploy yesterday's dinner and lunch. I don't know where to offload, and unfortunately, there's no store or anything around. And the people that this work site didn't fucking leave a porta-john. And so that's a nightmare when you have to drive to find anything. And there are times where I've been like, everything's too far. I own a shovel. Public bathroom number 1.
Nature is
everywhere. Yeah. When nature calls, she'll receive, I guess.
Oh my god.
That's such a terrible joke.
You're disgusting.
But am I wrong?
No.
Yeah.
It's still disgusting.
Ugh. Brother,
Okay, so you don't like public bathrooms, but you will go to them. And then you don't mind public bathrooms, but if they're nice, you gotta wait.
I gotta wait. Yeah, I
gone.
gotta wait until it's empty.
Which I find that super interesting because
I want to touch on that for a second. When everyone leaves and you go into said nice bathroom and you're sitting down on that golden throne, what happens when someone else shows up? Yeah, I'll start. I'll just start with the first person that shows up, and we'll go into more because I've had many experiences. I've if anyone can tell, I've been out in the world working too many times and been in too many public restrooms and had too many experiences. But I'm curious what you got. What happens when someone shows up? You just you tense up, just full clench?
No. But the good thing is if
he pushes even harder. No.
Or do you finish your business and stay?
Yeah, actually. So it depends. Because if they go into another stall, then I'll just leave before they have time to walk out of the stall.
Like mid poop, or you finish?
No, I'll finish and then leave. But if they're going into a stall, they're probably going to be there longer than me.
Now, here's the question with that one. Have you ever been in a stall and then someone showed up and they're like, maybe I don't have to poop? And then they get out at the same time that you're getting out? Like, do you hustle? Do you like rush ass, or what are you doing?
No.
You run back in the stall?
That hasn't happened yet, but now, thanks. New phobia.
They go in, sit down, they fart once, and then they open the door as you're leaving. Like, I see you, motherfucker.
And then direct eye contact, just.
Max is just gonna show up in your town, and he's just gonna do that to you on purpose.
I can't wait for the day that I get to play that on you. I don't know when it would ever happen, but the chances are still there.
The world may never know.
If I ever see you go in the stall, dude, I'm absolutely going in there, and I'm gonna try and act and try to sound like someone totally different, and sit down.
What, you being able to act like someone different? That's not
100%. I'm
possible.
gonna try and mask as much of my own signature as possible, and then when you're done,
starts doing a Scottish
when I hear the
accent with his
flush,
farts.
I'm gonna just start shuffling as hard as I can to get. Oh shit! Oh, like you just hear like manic noises of me like slamming things or like putting things in the toilet, like flushing as hard and fast as possible, and then I'm gonna just hit the door. And I'm gonna slow open it and watch you.
The toilet's still flushing, and you didn't take the toilet paper off the roll,
or
so
better
it's going
yet,
down the toilet.
Better yet, I'll just look over the top. Where are you going? I can't poop alone.
Okay, this is
or
the other
better
thing.
yet,
hold my hand.
Don't even try to rush it. Just like, yo, don't leave me, dog.
I don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone.
This is the other thing, though. Why are public bathrooms designed with gaps at every possible construction of the
that's
stalls?
the thing.
It's like, oh, we're gonna put 3 feet up from the bottom on the stalls. That way you can see everybody's feet.
Yeah, dude.
And then we're gonna leave like a good inch gap around the entire door, so that if somebody walks by, they're totally gonna see you in there.
Yeah, you just see someone's eye poking through the thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love kids, but they are also the worst offenders when it comes to public restrooms because they'll just look underneath the fucking door. Like,
Oh yeah. Sometimes they'll try to crawl under it.
Could you
while you're in
fucking
there?
not?
Dude, like literally 2 months ago, we were camping at like a KOA campground, and they have like the bathrooms and the showers are the same room, and
Sick.
I was in one of the showers. I wasn't even on one of the toilets, and then a kid walks up to it, tries to open the door, and is telling like one of his parents on the other side that it was locked. And instead of thinking, oh, there's somebody in there, no, let me peek through the crack in the door. I'm like,
The kid did?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh,
Hey.
let's just check.
I don't know. There could be someone in there. I gotta see what's going on. Is that a boy?
I mean,
or
I
a
guess
girl?
that's how they learn their lessons.
That's not true. That's how they develop
Sometimes.
habits.
Could be.
Oh,
Oh.
I like to go to public restrooms so I can look underneath the doors and stare at the guys inside.
Grumpy old man.
No.
Speaking of the worst things ever is when you have urinals, right? So urinals are great because, you know, you go in, you just pee on the wall, and then you're done. See you later.
I've never heard it described as that, but okay.
But I mean, like, that's just what okay, describe a urinal to me. It's like a toilet on the wall. It's just a big old catcher's mitt that you just piss into and you're out. But that's just what it is. You go in, you pee on a wall, you feel like a fucking man for a minute, and you're like, yeah, and then you leave. Granted, for those of you sensible folks at home, it's after you wash your hands and then you leave. But point is, you go in there, you do your thing. Sometimes they have dividers, like they have like the little like clips on the wall, whatever. Sometimes they just don't, which is uncomfortable. And I have had a couple of times where I've been like, I go to a urinal and it's like at a bar or something like that, and there's clearly no divider. And I'll just go into like the urinal at an angle so that, like, I'm peeing on like the corner, but my back is covered. Like I got the corner stall, which by the way is the best stall to get to. Period. End of story. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong, or clearly trying to watch people pee. You're weird. But like going in there,
care.
To be fair, there's a lot of dudes that are like that. I just don't like peeing next to somebody. I mean, I don't mind peeing that. Okay, here's the weird thing. I'll pee next to somebody outside.
Penis.
I don't care about that. Like going, I don't. I guess there is a point of like, don't look at me, dude. You haven't paid for it yet.
Don't.
But like, but like going into the urinal, like there's a point of like, I don't like people being next to me when I'm doing that. But at the flip side, if it's out in the woods, I don't give a shit. Like I'll stand right next to you and stare directly into your eyes as I pee and be like, "What's up, man? How you doing?"
Even if it's a stranger.
I don't care.
See, for me, the difference there
I mean,
is
I
how
wouldn't
drunk
just
am I?
approach a random dude peeing.
Well,
like,
I think
most
that
people get pretty
difference.
defensive immediately. They're like, "Fuck off, man!
Why
We're in
are
the
you
woods. I'll
looking
bury
at
you."
me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought it was a great place to
But
be.
like what Preston just
Great
brought
minds.
up, like I think most of us, if we're drunk, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's just all out the window.
So the
Well-
thing when I when I drink, the more I drink, the more trolly I get with it. Because there have been times where I actively try to
Choose the
make
middle stall.
make it so that like if there's multiple stalls, it's like, okay, where do I position myself so that if somebody walks in, they have to pee next to somebody else.
That's fair.
That's hilarious.
It's
To be
like
fair, I
chess.
think as I've gotten older, some of the funnier conversations I've had at bars are when I'm peeing next to somebody immediately to my left or my right.
That's true.
Because it's very much like there was so I pee a lot. My mother
Another public bathroom story. So here we go.
yeah. Unfortunately, I pee a lot because my mother has a terrible bladder, and I inherited that from her because I won that lottery for sure. But at the same time, I'll go to the restroom and I'll go pee, and that guy will be there, and the first time we'll be like, okay, whatever. Like maybe there's a conversation starter, like someone in the bathroom, like in the toilet stall, just like lets it go, and like he's like clearly going to war over there. Like I'm like, damn soldier, like, good luck.
You okay?
And then like we'll be on the same pee cycle. That's what we'll call it. And so like I'll come back in there and like, oh man, we gotta stop meeting like this. Like getting those moments, right? Like this, just having those moments with people just in the wild can be honestly very, very cool. Not
It's very human for sure because it's something we all have to do.
right. It's just what it is. And it's funny when you have people that you just go into a bathroom, even when you're in the bathroom and there's a dude in the stall and the stall guy is just going like ham with just jokes and stuff. Like, who does number 2 work for? Like, throw back that nostalgia for Austin Powers. It's funny stuff. You're like, all right, this guy gets it. He's having a good time. But like at the same time, like, I don't know, man. Like I hate the trough stalls.
Oh, I can somewhat agree with this too.
Trough urinals are some of
like
the
I
most...
feel like they're just really unsanitary.
I don't necessarily think that they're necessarily unsanitary.
They
I don't like
splash everywhere.
Okay, well, I'm not peeing that far up in the fucking urinal, man, but I don't know. Maybe you just have a powerful stream, my man, and you just
Maybe. Yeah, it's
plowing
because
into that thing and
I
then
don't pee as much as you do because I have
true.
I have a man bladder, not
be
a baby
fair,
bladder.
I have a baby bladder, and the best part is I pee longer than dudes like who clearly go there like once every like hour or whatever. Not an hour. I don't know what the hell people do anymore. I know that I pee a lot, and this is what it is. But like when you have the guys that are like, oh, I only pee like once a year, and they go to pee, I still pee longer than them on my 3rd trip to the restroom. Oh, your first time, huh?
They've absorbed it. Yours
Yeah,
is just like I gotta get it out each time.
To be fair, I drink and it goes in and it goes right back out again. It keeps me
Perfect.
keeps me going, I guess. I don't know. Like the trough ones just are uncomfortable in general. Just like it's like, welcome to the trough. I would have a better time just pissing on the wall. I will tell you though, I have one very specific bathroom that I was at actually fairly recently. It was at a wedding that I went to for one of our friends. And that bathroom was the worst offender I've ever met.
Really?
Yep.
I've had quite a few.
like I've been through some weird ones, and I've seen some gross shit, and I've seen like there was one bathroom specifically that me and my friend used to walk by every time we take a walk down by the water. There was an infestation of spiders always, and they'd be hanging from the door, and like you'd have to go in there. We would have shifts. So one person would go to the restroom, and the other person would be on shift watching around said person to make sure no spiders were crawling towards their wiener. And
that's fair.
And then if there was, you'd be like, code spider, and they're like, all right, where? Left, right.
I know exactly which bathrooms you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're awful. Convenient because they're a good place to go if you have nowhere else to, but at the same time, they were always filled with spiders. But the one that I went to that was the worst offender of all time. Motherfuckers had two walls. Like, you imagine like your own like really bad just like stall walls, like the 3 to 5 foot gap on the bottom. Those are the walls. There was 2 urinals that were like
3 to 5 foot.
Yeah. To be fair, they were tall. They had 2 urinals right next to each other, and then they had a wall next to the urinals, and then they had a wall between the 2 stalls, and I'd say 2 stalls. There's 1 stall. They had a wall next to the urinals, and they had 1 wall next to the showers that were there. And the only thing separating you from everything else outside of your toilet was a shower curtain.
They're like, perfect.
They're like,
it's cheap.
We could put in walls that weren't like, 3 to 5 feet tall. Nah, fuck, we'll put a couple in, then we'll call it good, and we'll just put showers in here too, because why not?
We can just shower the whole thing off afterwards.
I mean, to be fair, that bathroom definitely saw some shit, I'm sure, because there's people that were really drunk that night. But regardless, it was
what kind of shit?
Well, no, it was no waffle stomping.
Okay, let's talk about that just for a second.
Oh God.
Your guys' opinion.
Sure.
Is it okay to fuck in public bathrooms?
Is it okay? What a weird segue. That had nothing to do with
what? No,
okay.
You said waffle stomping.
Speaking of what kind of shit, sex.
Wait, what does that mean?
Waffle stomping's when you shit in the shower and stomp onto the drain, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? You know when you go into a bathroom and you waffle stomp with your girl? What the fuck are you doing? So, number one, my stance on pooping in the shower, not really interested.
Not cool.
Not okay. My other thing, having sex in a public bathroom. Not my favorite either. It's unsanitary as fuck. I mean, it could be hot.
True.
It's very gross.
Preston.
I
had my kid here. That's where my child was conceived.
That's where it was conceived.
I had to wait till everyone was gone. My girlfriend had to come get me. And one thing led to another. We started waffle stomping in the stall.
Oh, God. All right. We're scrapping this entire episode. Fuck this.
Bullshit. No one's editing this out. You have to eat this, you ass.
I'm not going to eat a waffle stomp.
No. Okay, that's gross.
Phrasing.
Phrasing. We're still doing phrasing, right?
That's still a thing, right?
That's still a thing, right?
But no, probably the same thing. Like I don't. I'd rather not, because it just seems kind of unsanitary.
You'd rather not, but neither of you were like, no, completely.
Well, no.
There may have been a time in my life where I was horny enough to do that.
We make win.
That is it right there.
I mean, to be fair,
a time in your life.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Like restrooms, I don't know if I'd want to, because number one, they don't really offer all that much privacy in that.
Oh, they don't offer much privacy at all. They're a public
So
bathroom.
what I'd rather do is the car that's probably outside of said public bathroom, and then that's where I would go. Granted, that's still having sex in public and still a finable offense, and also not a good time. However,
Debatable.
debatable. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, public restrooms, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a hopeless romantic, and I like the idea of keeping that tension up and then going somewhere else. So that when we get to said somewhere else, it's like a public bathroom. It's just nasty. But I don't know, like public restrooms, it's too much of a weird spot. On top of that too, like I don't want to fuck anybody on top of anyone.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the idea, right? You're just like, you're gonna go to town in a bathroom, and you're potentially forcing other people to be a part of said experience.
I
And
see what you're saying.
I don't want that kind of evil on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby!
Man, I don't want to do that to other people. Like, I don't think it's right. Like, I've seen things where people are like, we're in a bus and we're getting nasty. Like, I've done the bus nasty stuff, but that was also a horny teenager with a girlfriend for the sixth time. And I was like, yeah, we on a bus. It's like a 2-hour drive. That's like 6 years. Like, I got a blanket, you got some hands. That's cool. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to force other people to have to be a part of it, especially if they're going in to go fucking throw Duke at porcelain, man. Like, nobody wants to be in that position where you're like, bro, I just gotta get this out of me so that I can get the fuck out of this place,
So,
because it's
how many
already
times
not a place I
though
like to
have
be.
you guys heard it?
Have I ever heard sex in a bathroom? Like a public
In a
bathroom.
public bathroom.
In a public bathroom? How many times have I ever heard it?
Not necessarily how many times, just have you. I've definitely heard it.
I've never heard it.
Yeah, definitely heard it in several occasions. But
Yeah, I don't
To be
think I
fair,
ever have either, honestly.
I'm also kind of a dick.
Where the fuck have
so
I
I
been?
would very much be like, yo, I got dibs on seconds, dog.
yeah, I've heard it when I was at a club.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I've
no.
heard it when I was at a convention.
Oh, gross.
I've heard it at a Renaissance fair.
Ooh, what the fuck, dude? That's a porta john. Let's go in the squatty potty and get fucking naughty. That's not good, man. Bro, there's not a
Renaissance
whole
fairs
lot of...
are much hornier than most people give them credit for.
Oh, I know
They are
how
much
horny
hornier.
they are. Let
That's
me
true.
tell you, I get it.
True. So are conventions. Well, but actually, everybody knew conventions were horny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also depends on the convention as well. Like, you could have a convention
Does
for,
it?
like, I imagine the train convention's probably not gonna be nearly as horny. I say train as in like the choo-choo train, not like a fucking oh, I got next.
Not like the
also
one
taking it now. Said 30 other dudes. Nah, dude. I'm saying, like, I can't imagine like going to, I mean, to be fair, I've been at many different conventions, and the ones that I went to were like video games, anime, video games. Yeah, no, I can't imagine going to a video game convention and it not being horny, because there's people who are like, I'm gonna dress as super sluts from the Gee, and I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for your
Hey.
service.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, hey, I don't think sluts is the right word.
You're right. Scantily clothed women with empowering visage. Yeah, it empowers
The
strongly.
fuck face did I just make? I just spotted myself. That was awful.
Yeah, you outed yourself, man. But I ain't
I
gonna
did.
lie. It is what it is. Like, conventions.
Yeah,
are
public
typically-
bathroom sex not great.
No.
But we're all horny teenagers once.
I mean, I'm
so-
still a horny teenager, dude. 100%.
Yep, because he's been alive for like 5 minutes. It's fine.
5 whole minutes.
Back in my day, back in my minute.
Back in my minute, 300 years ago, back in my minute.
Grumpy old man, folks.
How are you young and old at the same time?
I don't know, man.
I'm a teenager, but I'm old as fuck.
I will say, when I was doing theater, I got typecasted as the old guy every time.
Dude, you
That's
weren't
funny.
even an old guy in one of your plays, and then you still played an old guy for one of the, like, well, what were those called? The test rehearsals?
What?
The mock rehearsals, or whatever they were called?
Dress rehearsals?
Yeah. Oh, no, you were an old guy and you were playing a pirate.
Oh, you're talking about the pickup rehearsals, which were very much where people would fuck around and find
Oh,
out.
yeah, that was
And I
ridiculous.
very much was like, oh, I play an old dude. I'm going to change my old dude into a pirate today. So I was an
Yep.
old man pirate.
It was hilarious.
Still remember that part. Good times.
See, for us, we only ever had
Yeah.
one rehearsal on the last day of Tech Week. That was the fuck around and find out day.
It definitely was a fuck around and find out, depending on the mood of the teacher.
No. To be fair, I had like an agreement with Mr. Teacher Man, and very much I didn't care. I was gonna fuck around. So like we would have our rehearsals and we'd have our goofs here and there, and then we'd have the first week of actual performances, and then pickup rehearsal was just to like get it back in the business. And pickup rehearsal was always when we fucked around. And that was always like people would wear weird stuff. Like one of my castmates would just come out and just in underwear. Like no costume
Beautiful.
at all, just in underwear. I came out as an old man who's supposed to be in Secret Garden. I was the old guy tending to the garden that like, for an old man, no. And I came out as a pirate and I said all of my lines like, yeah, I came out to say.
It was beautiful.
It was a musical, and I sang in a pirate voice, and it was so.
It was beautiful.
It was good.
So
It
I mean
wasn't
that I
Pirates of
guess that goes
Penzance, but
along
that's what
with
you were playing.
Oh yeah, no, they
Wait.
didn't realize that Secret Garden was that it was a pirate booty spot.
it was a pirate musical. Are you guys the same now with public bathrooms as when you were in like high school? Is it always been the same feeling? Or
That's
is
a
it
good question.
time?
That is a good question.
Honestly, it's probably gotten better for me. It was
Yeah.
worse, especially in high school, because the high school I went to had like 400 total students. And so everybody knew everybody. And so that it was just heightened for
Goes
me.
back to that. If I lay
Well,
down
okay,
the lawn,
we had a lot
dude,
more
someone's
students in our
gonna
school
know.
until everybody knew each other. So I mean, like, we're not in those schools in like California or New York where they just like thousands of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but you say it got better over time.
Yeah, it did. Well, in general, my like I used to have really bad social anxiety in general,
yeah.
like through high school, and it has progressively gotten better along with that.
What about you, Max?
I would say public restrooms I was never a huge fan of growing up. Like in high school, I was like, I don't want to go to the bathroom in like the public room. Like I remember specifically in high school, because I was doing drama and theater, we would have, obviously there was the bathrooms that everyone would go to, and like I didn't like going to those because I didn't want to lay down the law and have someone like, oh dang dude, that was crazy. Like same thing. I didn't really want to do with that. And so I would go to either the furthest bathroom on the campus, or I would go to the theater room where we had our changing rooms, and I would go lay down law in that bathroom. And to be fair, that was the only bathroom that I would fucking go ham on and then come out of, because we would start class and then you'd hear the toilet flush, and then I would walk out of the room,
God.
and I would be the only thing that was making noise when we started class. And I was like, Ooh, damn, boy, I got that crazy stuff out of me. But like definitely like in public, I was more quiet, more shy, didn't really want to outstand too much. And the bathrooms were kind of like that weird thing. Like I would rather go home. And if I had to go to the bathroom, I was always like super quiet. And I think it was around the time that I had gone out for college, did some years in college out in a different area, came back to where I live now for more college. And it was when I was working with one of my friends, one of my best friends growing up. Uh, he wrote on the wall of the place that we were both working at, like a stall wall. And I will remember this to the day I die. It's a little poem he put on there. I'm sure he got it from somewhere, but for me, it always will be from him. And it went as such: I did not come here to sit and wonder. I came here to shit like thunder. And no shit, that specifically I remember to this day. And it's like, why the fuck do I care? I'm going in there to lay down some hate and I'm getting out. Like, I don't. Everyone does it, all right? Anyone who says that girls don't poop, they're lying. Because if they didn't poop, we'd have to gut them like cows, and that would be fucked.
One
Because I had to do that
solved
back
your
in Wyoming, dude.
paresis.
I did some time in Wyoming, and my grandpa there had a fucking a ranch, and you know, yeah, you gotta stab them and let the gas out, or they'll explode. Fucking
Jesus.
wild.
It is wild.
But they also poop, so there's the thing too. But like, you know, this is such a weird, shitty episode we've decided to make, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But
Yeah.
All right, DJ,
it's
what you
interesting.
got?
It
DJ
is-
called me earlier questioning, like, do we really want to do this?
He also
like,
called,
is this? I
be
did. I called
fair,
him right afterwards.
Before we did this episode, he called me and was like, "Hey, do you know?" We had talked.
Shut up. Yeah, I was breaking up. I was driving.
He was and it's like, what the fuck are you saying? He said he's like, yeah. So our topic was going to be, and then he would cut out, and he said that like 3 times. I was like, honestly, I don't know what the fuck you're asking me or what you're saying. I'm in. And then I heard one thing where it's like, oh, he's bringing literature. It was like, literature? What does that mean?
Oh, you haven't even brought it up yet, and we're getting close to time.
I do have,
but let me say real quick. Mine has definitely gotten better with time. I just stopped giving a fuck as much.
I think that's.
If I see it's gross, find another one. If I have to like leave the entire bathroom if they're all gross, I can't do it. Can't do it.
I mean, I've had a lot of friends that work in like a lot of different areas, and I never did it myself, but I've had friends that work janitorial stuff.
I did.
Bruh. Anyone who doesn't know this, if you ever go to a park, like an actual like public park, it is almost a guarantee. The women's bathroom is 5 times nastier than the men's bathroom, and it's every time. It's every time. I don't know what it is, but some people
same way in the grocery store.
Some people like to finger paint. I don't fucking get that, man. Like that's all right. Like I grew up with 3 sisters, and I never saw them finger paint on the walls. Fucking weirdos. And so,
anal art,
dude. Nah. Hey, don't bring that up. But then, like the other thing too, like. I have been in more bathrooms, like obviously, clearly men's bathrooms. I have been in females' bathrooms because, let's be fair, there are times when no one's around and I have to go, and that room is locked. But like, you guys have couches in some of your bathrooms, and fuck you guys, that's awesome. I want that for dude bathrooms so bad. We have to go to the fucking store to run around and do the stupidest shopping in the world. Let me go to the bathroom and just sit on a couch for a minute and just dick around on my phone.
What fucking bathrooms are you going to?
Dude, I've been to I think the last one that I remember specifically was a church bathroom, that it was the ladies' bathroom. And we were at like a lockout, so all of us were in there, and then they locked the doors so that we couldn't run around like get stupid. and we had play like hide and go seek games like that, so on and so forth. It was like late at night, and I remember going to like the ladies' bathroom. I was like, oh, I'm a young guy. I'm in a church bathroom, dude. There was a full ass couch in that bitch, like a fucking nice sofa. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I remember like being in there with the lady, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's the place that we sit." And I was like, "No shit. What else are you gonna do on that couch?" Don't answer that question. I'm too young to understand what that means. But like, yeah, no, like, it is wild how different a men's room versus a women's room can get, and it's usually just it's nasty. Like, to be fair,
Yeah.
everybody finds a way to like ruin it for someone. Right?
I mean, it's nasty in both, but goddamn, I've seen some pretty nasty women's bathrooms being a janitor.
Yeah, like, man,
Yeah.
everything that we do is natural. Like, you poop, we pee. Some of us bleed.
Please don't
whatever,
paint
man.
with it.
Don't fucking paint with any of it. Dudes that pee on walls and a urinal, you have failed.
Or the ground.
You have failed.
Like in front of it.
All you had to do was point in a direction that made sense, and you're like, I'm just gonna fucking helicopter dick this shit. Like,
And I want to know,
you, man.
like, what are you doing when you leave the toilet and you got poop smeared across the toilet? Like, did you leave with that? Like,
is this how you found it?
What the fuck,
dude? Man, like, yeah, I can't.
That's my biggest problem with public bathrooms. Let's get to this literature. This is disgusting.
Yeah, what you got that's literature for public restrooms?
Honestly, I found
You got like 5 minutes.
it's
got
do I have
more
5
than-
minutes to get through a 16-page analysis?
said
We're
of
not
16
read a
pages?
16-page nothing on
it's
this
called
podcast.
the development and validation of the shy bladder and bowel scale.
You're gonna have to surmise it in
So they
5
basically
minutes.
made
the scale,
a
yeah?
survey and a mathematical scale to see
Oh.
two things. One, how common paruresis and parucosis are, which is like shy bladder or shy bowel movements. One, to
fair.
find
Okay.
out how common they were in the test subjects, and in this case it was a university in Australia. And then two, they did the same survey 5 years apart on a similar group to see how, if it improves or if it does not improve over time.
All right.
And most of what they came up with was actually about what we talked about too. It was about, over the course of time, it was about 30% of people experienced shy bladder or shy bowel in some capacity, whether it's difficulty or just anxiety about it. And then
Right.
after 5 years, that improved by about 30%.
So, like, so kinda something we all
had left
experienced.
to give, and they just threw them out. They're like, nah, we're
Oh yeah, they just shit the fucks right out.
Yeah. Yeah.
They flushed it like everything else.
But
That's- yeah.
I found this far more interesting than I probably should have. Because, like, I found some
Honestly-
interesting articles about the phobias we talked about last episode and stuff
Right.
like that. But then
Yeah.
I saw this one and I'm like, this is like some PhD student spent like a good 2 to 3 years making their dissertation on public bathrooms.
Yo, that's relatable though.
That
Right.
is amazing.
Somebody
I
got
mean-
their PhD in the SBDS.
They got their PhD in SHIT, baby. Let's go. But like, that's the thing, right? Like, it's such a weird concept. Because I remember growing up, most people didn't talk about going to the restroom. Yeah, that's uncultured. And then I've talked to other people, and like I remember like, one of the most relatable conversations I ever had with somebody is, "Hey, yo, if there's something in the toilet that hasn't been flushed, do you try to piss it to death?" And I don't think I've ever met anyone that hasn't done that. Granted, as a man with a wiener.
But now I'm curious. Do women do it too?
I don't know if you okay, you probably can, but I also imagine that there's I mean most
Aiming is a
from
different
my
process.
lizard brain, ladies sit down when they do their things. It's not necessarily true. Sometimes they squat. Sometimes they fucking like use the squatty potty like the fucking funnel thing, right? Like
The
to
shiwi.
be fair,
The shiwi.
dude. Not gonna lie,
Great invention.
why not? Granted, you're peeing in a thing and you're carrying it around with you. Kind of gross. However, you can wash it. It's not a big deal. Like I've seen people use like cloth pads and stuff. Like in theory, sure, you're saving money. Other times, gross. But that is what it is. Like I don't
Yeah.
I can't knock it. I fucking respect the hustle.
But
dude.
like, I think what you're saying, it is kind of interesting how like it's so hush hush
yeah.
a lot of the time, and then sometimes you have the conversation, you're like, oh hey, we're all kind of thinking the same thing sometimes,
Right? Like
about this.
I think
Though
I
I've talked to nobody about it.
I think toilet talk, if you will.
Toilet culture.
Toilet. Well, I don't know. Like toilet. To be fair, I'm not looking at cultures or any kind of thing like that.
I
But
know.
like, I think talking about like restroom stuff or things that are like everyone does, but like it's that like shameful act or whatever. I find more often than not, it's dudes that talk about it, and I think that's one of the things that I've heard. Like, because I have 3 sisters, as a for everybody to know, if you will, and obviously they have their conversations about their shit, and I grew up with the girl stuff, but it was definitely a point where like, oh yeah, boys are gross. They talk about pee and poop and stuff, and like every time I've ever had a conversation with a dude about pooping and peeing, it's usually the funniest fucking thing, or it's the most relatable fucking thing. It's like, yo, man, like I went in the bathroom and then there was a straight up like a log left in the toilet. Like, damn, that guy fucking might have died. I did my part, man. I split that bitch in half.
And then I flushed it.
Yeah,
I left it there.
I
and ran.
defeated the toilet dragon, man.
Oh, nasty.
It was
Though we've
out
all done it,
trying-
that's still nasty.
I mean, it is what it is.
Just
I mean,
leaving your
well,
turd in there. Why?
sometimes you don't have a choice. That's not true. I think you always have a choice. However, there is a point of like if you lay down like some
The
spirit,
law.
if you lay down some like full on Dragon Ball Z spirit bomb and that thing doesn't flush, it can't flush because it's not strong enough. Its power level is too low. And you're like, I could tell people about this. There's a chance that you might have already taken a picture of it to show for your friends that will never
Possible world
believe you.
record.
Yeah, right. You're like, hold on, this thing is impressive. It does breach water.
The Guinness World Record books are like, did you measure the bowl?
But
We don't know what to compare the
did
picture
you pull
to.
it out and measure it? No, but it was huge. Like, yeah, no, like having these conversations has always been like strictly gross or taboo or whatever. Maybe this is gross.
Kind
to
of
you.
what we
I don't
talked about
know.
before. It's humanizing.
Yeah, it's real shit.
Because we all do it. Yeah. It's your shit.
It's some
Talk
real
about it.
shit. Also,
Real shit.
number
Yeah.
one, things to think about. Check out your color of your urine. It could tell you if you're dehydrated or not feeling well. It can also be a huge thing to take care of. Like, look at your stool samples because there's a pretty good chance that you could have a thing affecting you, and your body won't lie to you for the most part.
True.
If
If you're not pooping often enough.
I mean, yeah, there's things
That's a problem.
Listen, it's just a part of life. It's a part of the system. And,
Learn to listen to what your body's saying. Exactly.
be real, man. Be real with
Yeah.
yourself. check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I wish you would.
Oh
Wish
God,
you
there we go.
All right,
Now,
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, go ahead. You got something? Or I'm gonna
we're
throw
gonna
us
wrap
out
it
here.
up. But like with that, on that positive note, we do want to hear from you because these would be great stories.
Yeah.
So
We didn't even
please
get into
do,
porta potties, man. Like I got so much time.
Maybe
behind
that's
me
a
on-
completely different subject.
Porta
Yeah,
potties.
to be fair, a full ass hour of talking about porta potties, I could do. I could do that. I worked enough construction. I could do it.
Yeah, well, you'll just do that episode, and we'll just listen. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we'd like to hear from you. So just put down comments. We'll read it and see what kind of crazy shit's happened to you in public bathrooms.
Yeah, crazy shit. Specifically, the choice of
Yeah.
words today. Phrasing is still in.
Yeah.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. We wish you would. Click, motherfucker.